Hey everybody, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terence. The week begins on Monday, November the 21st. It's going to be the last day that the sun is transiting through Scorpio, and the moon is in Scorpio. And the moon is in the dark phase of its monthly cycle, because on Wednesday, we're starting a new moon in Sagittarius, starting a new cycle. So this, especially Monday, it's a time of letting go, bringing closure, wrapping up. But there's also some good news here, is that communication Mercury, curious Mercury, will be aligned with creative relational Venus. With that Mercury Venus, a lot of thoughts that could be more inward and private on love, on your relationships. This could also be very favorable for pulling away and with creative writing or just losing yourself in a good book, because that Mercury is about learning and ideas and writing and speaking. And the Venus influence brings all this, more of this contented, enjoyable energies. As we begin Tuesday, the 22nd, the sun enters into Sagittarius for the next 4 weeks, going from Scorpio, which is more pulling us more inward, and more of this more intensity, a little bit of more broodingness. Then the sun goes into Sag for 4 weeks, and Sag is outgoing, it's optimistic, it's adventurous. Scorpio pulls us inward, Sagittarius thrusts us out into the world. Sagittarians are known as the eternal student and the eternal traveler. Now, the moon will continue in Scorpio until Wednesday with the new moon, but in early afternoon Pacific time, the moon will be opposite unpredictable, erratic Uranus. The moon sets the public tone. So that early afternoon, you might be getting some unexpected news, some surprises. It can be favorable for getting you out of a rut, but there might be a lot of unstable, upsetting energies. But it only lasts for an hour or two. Late afternoon, more about as we get to 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific time, now the moon will be in a stressful angle to separating Saturn. Perhaps whatever upset you earlier in the day is causing you to want to just pull back and reassess what is going on in your life. It is the dark phase of the moon, because the moon is still in Scorpio. And so a lot of this, doing this introspection. But a lot starts to change on Wednesday with the new moon in Sagittarius. As I've already explained, the new moon starts pulling ourselves into a new direction, new priorities, depending where Sagittarius falls in the chart. And overall, Sagittarius is more outgoing, more playful. We are going into the holiday season, which is perfect for that Sagittarius energies. But also, Jupiter is the planet associated with or ruling the sign Sagittarius. So all things Sagittarius is the same of Jupiter. Jupiter is the traveler, the seeker, that Jupiter is always looking, searching for new ideas, looking to the future. But I'm bringing up Jupiter because it's been retrograde for a number of months. So the promises, the hopes, the expectations of Jupiter have been more contained or delayed. But on the 23rd, with the new moon in Sagittarius, Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius that's been on hold, being retrograde, goes direct. And as it goes direct, it's going to start releasing all these promises, all these expectations you've been waiting and hoping for. So you might be getting some good signs on Wednesday, but it's usually because the Jupiter needs to, it's at a standstill, like when Mercury is at a standstill. It takes time for the Jupiter to start moving forwards, so it's giving more of its blessing, but especially from the new moon culminating 2 weeks later with the full moon, when everything seems to more come into the light. Now, on Thursday, the moon continues in outgoing, optimistic Sagittarius, but in the early morning, Pacific time, around 6 a.m. to 7 or so a.m., that Sag moon will be aligning with Mercury and then Venus because they're still hovering close together. So the moon are these emotional needs to express yourself, Mercury, in creative ways, Venus, or loving ways, or wanting to have a heartfelt conversation to reconcile any differences. A good cycle for forgiveness, a good cycle for creative writing. Friday, the moon for the first part of the day is continuing in fiery Sagittarius, and by late morning Pacific time, the moon will be in tension with Jupiter, and Sag is ruled by Jupiter. When Jupiter is being stressed, Jupiter is one of the luckiest, most benefic energies in the horoscope. But when it gets stressed, the Jupiter can overinflate, overexpand, overdo, from eating to spending money. And so there's all of that kind of abundance that you could be expecting too much and then being deflated, even though it's not a bad thing, but it's a lot less than you were hoping for. But by 1:19 p.m. Pacific time, the moon leaves adventurous, outgoing Sagittarius and moves into more pragmatic, organized business Capricorn through the weekend. That moon in Capricorn, which sets the emotional tone, good for business, good for getting a lot of work chores done, good for feeling more grounded. Saturday, there's no important planetary events. The moon continues in Capricorn, so there's a lot of work tasks that can be gotten accomplished. But by mid-afternoon Pacific time, for an hour or two, the moon will be in harmony with innovative, eclectic Uranus. The moon has a lot to do with our automatic responses, our emotional patterns, and when it's in harmony with Uranus, we can get ourselves out of a rut, being more open to new ideas, and going into a Saturday evening, you may be more open to not just do the same old thing you're used to doing, but shake things up, trying something new. Uranus represents friendships and group activities, and you may be more inclined to shake things up, getting involved with a group of friends, trying something different, or getting involved more with an organization. On Sunday, early morning, 8:30, 10, the moon in pragmatic Capricorn will be aligning once a month with Pluto. There's a strong need to pull within with Pluto, to do some soul searching, introspection, or a strong desire to be left alone with your own private thoughts. But then the moon leaves that more pragmatic Capricorn and goes into quirky, inventive Aquarius at 2:08 p.m. Pacific time for those next couple of days. Capricorn tends to draw us more into traditional ideas. Capricorn draws more to reflecting on the past. Capricorn is all that more conventional energy versus Aquarius, where Aquarius is very futuristic. It's this is why it's quirky. It's alternative. It always wants to try all new things and shake up. Aquarius can be rebellious energy, and Capricorn is more, let's all keep to the way it used to be, the establishment. So I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, be safe and well.